Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TED Talks Ball. We got a special Friday afternoon edition, a special Cowboys week edition, and it's an extra special edition because I have Onzo here. Onzo used to be my trainer when I lived in San Francisco,
Hello,
and
everybody.
yeah, welcome Onzo, and also his brother Jamal is here, so they're teaming up against me, 2-on-1. So hopefully I can
Is that what it is?
two nasty Cowboys fans here.
How you
But
guys doing?
ultimately, Onzo and we trained together for years in San Francisco, and then I moved to the peninsula, and it's just too far for me to commute up there to do it. But, he was trainer, he was therapist. We talked a lot of sports. He's a big Cowboys fan. Obviously, I'm a big Niners fan. And Onzo was the one who encouraged me to take the leap and start my YouTube channel. He said, Ted, you're good at this. You love it. Go do it. And so, Onzo, thank you to you for that. It's been a great ride, and been really loving doing this. And
your follow through is amazing.
You were the first person to really believe in me, and that I can't tell you how much that means to me. Hope I don't get too misty and start weeping here on you.
But, I'm not going to cry, Roy.
What are you going to cry already?
But yeah, I mean, it's. I
always believed in you, buddy, man. Come on.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's huge.
And thanks again for that. So, who's cutting onions here, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm really happy to be here. I mean, this is really special. I mean, who'd have thought, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying a lot of stuff. I was saying a lot of things, and you went your way, I went my way. Then we came back together, and then, right? And here we are. Like, It's funny how life works, and then. The blessing of being able to add my brother to this is even more incredible. So thank you for this opportunity. And, I love you guys, and let's go.
Appreciate the opportunity, Ted. Thanks a lot.
Let's do it. And Jamal, you want to tell people a little bit about you? Because I don't know you as well. So I
think Onzo pretty much said it. I'm his brother. You're his friend. And now we are family.
There you go.
And you guys happen to be out on the West Coast, and I'm here in Dallas, so there's a distance between us, but yeah, we can connect this way, which is pretty cool. So we still talk football, the things that we love.
It is.
Isn't that neat?
It's great. Yeah. It really brings. It's kind of like therapy for me to just get to talk to people. I tell people, the reason why I enjoyed Twitter during the COVID and stuff like that. It was a good place for me to learn and to teach and to have some fun, and hopefully we can all do some of that here today.
I agree.
You have great fans, man. I've been checking you out, and like the people are so dialed into what you say, love you or hate you. They're dialed into what you say.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that Howard Stern, love me or hate me, but watch me. I've already got the view hours to monetize, but the subscribers haven't caught up yet because of the hate watchers. But it'll come. And the main thing is the views. The subscribers is just a threshold. Once you hit it, it doesn't matter what your subscribers are anymore.
Right.
It's all about who tunes in to watch, and and also people who interact. This is what makes these things great is the live audience. If you hit the comments thing, you can see them over there. So it might be hard for you guys on your phones. But Jimmy Perez is here. He said, "What's up, Bang Bang Niner Gang? What's up, Jimmy? Welcome. Thanks for joining." And then he also said, "Hit the like button, people, and subscribe." Yeah, it really helps if you like and subscribe. It helps me to keep doing what I do for you. We've got Frank Tom Ocean. He says, "Great show, gents." Thank you, Frank. We're just getting started, but it should be a doozy. Jimmy Perez with a little bit of love. Looks like Steelers colors there, Jimmy. But I'm not judging.
I'm confused. I'm like, what?
Yeah, right.
Bryant Culp, give us a little clap. Bryant has his own channel. He's a big Jake Moody fan. He on his channel, on his overlay, at all four corners are pictures of Bryant Culp. Of Jake Moody, excuse me, our third round draft pick out of Michigan. And he wore a Jake Moody jersey to the home opener against the Giants, the Thursday night football game about a week and a half ago. And so huge Jake Moody fan and great guy. Thanks for tuning in, Bryant. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Brian.
Jimmy's just saying hi to Bryant. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. He has his own channel as well too, so everybody make sure you check him out. It says Happy Friday, guys.
Definitely do that. Happy Friday.
We got Bash.
Happy Friday.
I just did my show, Balling with Bash and Ted, with Bashar of 49er Minded. He's stopping by to say go Niners. Thanks. Appreciate that, Bash. I don't feel so outnumbered with you here.
I feel overwhelmed a bit, but I like it.
I got reinforcements.
It is it's a little overwhelming, yeah, man. This is cool.
Yeah, nice. And then Jimmy Perez says, "What's up, Bash?" They're just saying hi. Everybody's just saying hi, howdy. Danielle Thompson in the house saying, "Hey, she's a big Warriors and Niners fan." Her brother Marcus Thompson is a pretty famous Warriors beat writer. So welcome, Danielle. She's a great, audience member. She's been on a few times. She always has great takes, whether it's in Spaces or on Twitter or as an audience member or as a guest on the show too. That reminds me, it's probably been a little while since you've been on, Danielle. Maybe we'll have to re-up here before too long. If you're free, let me know. Hit me in the DMs, as they say.
Oh. No more sliding, huh? Just hit me.
Yeah, that's right. Slide in my DMs. That's right. Yeah, I think hit me is a little less provocative. But there you go. Sean Thomas says he's on the way to harass you in person. Is he there?
Hey, Sean will be here in a second.
Right on. So Onzo works at the Olympic Club in San Francisco, and so he takes care of a lot of high-powered folks there.
High power
training on. Yeah, no,
that's right.
Great facility, great people, great location. It's awesome.
Yeah,
very, very prestigious for sure. And she says, "For sure, hon. Love it." So, guys, obviously, big game this week.
Yeah.
I've been saying I think this could be the biggest game of the season for the entire NFL. Is that hyperbole?
I'll go with that. I'll go with that for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It always is, right? I'm sorry,
guys
go ahead.
take turns talking, though.
Nope.
It's always great to kind of rehash a rivalry, especially when you were there when you were younger in the 90s and you got to see the great matches between the two of them. So it's great to kind of go through that and replay it, even though, like I was saying earlier, the game doesn't seem like it's that significant right now, but any chance I get to jump back into my childhood a little bit, I'll do that.
Danielle says this panel is freaking fire. She's liking the energy.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Well, Danielle, I was going to say, I think Onzo's single, but now I just remember Danielle doesn't live in the area anymore. So, hey, any ladies that are interested,
Onzo's taken, but I appreciate it.
He is like one of my favorite people on this planet. So I would promote you to the day as long to help any way as a matchmaker that I could. Not that you need it, but and maybe that's changed since I haven't even been hanging out with you long, recently enough to know. You may
Onzo's taken, but he appreciates the sentiment.
There you go. See, this shows what I'm out of touch. It's been too long since we hung out. So yeah, I mean, as far as this rivalry goes, I mean, I was telling you guys from my article what I was saying about how, we've knocked each other out of the playoffs a bunch of times. Like the Cowboys knocked us out 4 or 5 times. We knocked you out 3 or 4 times. Times. Or I think it's 5 and 4 in your favor. And then 3 times the Cowboys went on to win the Super Bowl. 2 times the Niners went on to win the Super Bowl. And it was all NFC Championship games too. It's not like, where the other team won the Super Bowl, that is.
Correct.
The last 2 years haven't been. But it's a really story. The catch is probably the most iconic photo in NFL history. And we're tied 19-1. So, something's got to give here. And it's going to be interesting.
It's funny. You talk about that photo being iconic. And when I see it, I'm like, ugh, it's like a dagger. But then, people are getting tired of hearing, how about them Cowboys? So it kind of balances out at the same time. So,
if I'm not mistaken, that catch was on Everson Walls, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my guy back in the day, man. So it kind of hurt my feelings. It's a heartbreaker.
There you go. Yeah. There was a saying. It was like they said, Montana can see through the haze, but he can't get over the walls or something like that.
Well, and look what happened.
It didn't turn out to be true in that game.
Man.
Yeah, because the Lester Hayes was a great cornerback back then.
Yep.
Stickum for the Raiders.
Yep.
Good times.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the rivalry goes, it's incredible. As far as the season goes, I was telling you guys before the show that I have the Niners as the number one team in the NFL right now, and it's close. The Bills are close. I think the Cowboys are close, and I have the Eagles fourth. And so that's why I was saying I can see this being the best game in the NFL. Yeah, because the Eagles, they lost Gannon, they lost Steichen, they lost all their linebackers, they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they lost Hargrave to us, and that I've been saying a lot. I could be our Charles Haley 2.0, but in a good way. Whereas we lost Haley to you guys, you won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. We only won the one where we got Dion in the third one. He could be a real Eagles killer for us, and hopefully a Cowboys killer this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's tough, but as good as Bosa and Hargrave are, I think the Dallas your D line I think is better than ours because you got Micah.
It's all about staying healthy.
You got DeMarcus Lawrence, Sam Williams, Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie, Osa. Zigizua? Is that a Digizua?
If you can say it, you'll say it better than I can.
Osa, right?
I guess the big concern with me is, I understand we have our line and it's strong. You mentioned it, but it's also susceptible to being run on, which was evident in the Cardinals game, and as we mentioned earlier in the Jets game as well. So you're not running with anybody that's light back there. It's McCaffrey we're talking about. So definitely have to be aware of his presence and where he's going at all times. So I'm nervous in that sense. I don't want him scoring 5 and 6 touchdowns. He got 4 last time. So I don't want the record to be on us, although it would be kind of apropos if it happened. But we'll see what happens. It's definitely going to be a great game to watch in that sense, to see how the chess pieces come together.
I think the run game, I'm not going to say it's our only hope, but it's definitely our best hope. I will say that I think part of their Cards' success is that Josh Dobbs is more mobile than Purdy. Purdy is really quick. He has one of the fastest 10-yard splits out there. He's as quick as CMC, which is incredible. But after a few steps, people are chasing him down from behind. He is not a long runner or threat to bust big runs. So I think Dobbs hurt. I think also Diggs being out for the Cards, and it's not just that he was out; it's that he went out on a Thursday. Then you basically have one walkthrough on a Friday, and then the game on Sunday. There's no time to adjust to him being out. And people say, "Well, they're running the ball. What does a cornerback do?" And I say, "Well, a cornerback locks down half the field. A lockdown one does. It allows the safety to come up and play in the box. It also the Cards threw for 180 yards, and if that number was a lot lower, then the running number might have been lower with it. When you can pass, a lot of times that softens up the defense to allow you to run more easily. So so there's a lot of reasons why I don't think we'll be able to run it as well as the Cards did. Also, James Conner's a big bruising back,
right?
He is. He is. But we made him, we gave him a highlight reel. It's not like he was running over people. He had wide open runs.
Right.
So
right.
He had something to run through. There were holes there. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm antsy. I'm kind of sweating a little bit. Trying to figure out how I'm going to make it through this. It's a Sunday night game.
It's going to be a game.
It's going to be a really good game. Slobber knocker.
Yeah.
A slobber knocker.
Can
exactly.
you say that?
I don't know, but I love it. I haven't heard it forever.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's and the other thing too is the Cards have a pretty good O-line. And obviously when you think our O-line, you think Trent Williams, he's insane. I get it. Aaron Banks is very good at left guard, but our center Brendel's not a very good run blocker. Burford's not very good, period. And McKivitz is not a good run blocker either. So again, another reason why it might be more difficult for us to run than it was for the Cards. Mobile QB, bigger back, and less proficient pass blockers on our line. So it'll be interesting to see.
So what do you Purdy? Purdy scares me, and CMC. I mean, come on, man. What are you going to do with that? Like, again, look at what he did last week, and then look at what we did. We did okay, but I mean, Arizona.
Well, I mean, we struggle in the red zone. We've been having some struggles in the red zone, definitely.
That is true.
I'm hoping that this past game may have opened up something. Maybe put us on the right path. It'd be nice for it to happen this game because we need it. I don't think coming from behind is going to be optimal. It's not going to be an option. I think once you fall behind, I don't think if we were to fall behind, that we have the ability to keep up, because you're just going to run and run and run and run.
True.
And I don't know what the first down success rate is for the 49ers, but I imagine it's pretty high. Or the third down success rate, sorry.
It is. I mean, everything is high for the 49ers so far offensively this season. I mean, we're scoring 30 points a game. But, like I said, I mean, the Steelers, they didn't play well against us. After the game, Mike Tomlin said basically everyone should give their game checks to TJ Watt because he's the only one who showed up. And and then obviously, we played the Rams. They have Aaron Donald, but who else do they have on defense besides Aaron Donald, right? So, and then the Giants, we know they're not any good. And the Cards, like I said, they just don't have any horses. I mean, I think they have Dennis Gardeck. They have the guy who picked off Dak, the linebacker, but Kaiser White or Kaiser Elam or something like that. But there's just not a lot of talent. You say Budda Baker, he didn't play against us. So,
this will definitely be a test. It'll be the first real test as far as defense is concerned for the 49ers.
And you guys talk about coming from behind. I talked to a bunch of Cowboys content creators this week. Cowboys Greg on Monday, Ashley Baker on Tuesday, Cole's Cowboys Wednesday evening. And it was like very, very common theme. Like both of us, our teams are wondering if our QBs can come back from being behind, because we're both front running teams as far as we tend to get leads and to step on people's neck once we have them. And like Purdy did it against the Raiders New Year's Day, towards the end of last season on New Year's Day. But like it was a 10-point lead that he came back from, or 10-point deficit. And the Raiders defense was cheeks, man. They were like probably the worst D in the league, or within one or two of the worst. So big difference between that and the Cowboys, who are like number 2 in yards allowed. They're like top 5 in points allowed. There's a lot of really good things going on with the Dallas Cowboys defense. The D-line, obviously, but your safeties are really good. Even with Diggs out, you still have Deron Bland and Stephon Gilmore, who are really solid corners.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit scary as far as going up against this defense. So here's the top defenses in the NFL for yards allowed. Browns are number 1 at 787, and then over almost 300 yards higher is the Cowboys at number 2. The Ravens are just 4 higher than that. The Lions are about 100 higher at 1122. Niners at 1137. There's a bunch stacked in there. Lions, 49ers, Bills, and Falcons are all pretty close together. Even the Chiefs are pretty close by 1178. Rams 1183. So even though the Rams only have Aaron Donald, they are on this top 10 yards list. But then the scoring list that I cross-reference it with was Ravens number 1 at 6.3% TDs per drive. Cowboys number 2, 9.3% TDs per drive. Browns. So Cowboys and Browns are both in the top 3 in both categories. So that's huge. 9.8.
Browns defense, no joke.
And then the Chiefs are in there again, 11.6, and the Bills. So the 49ers aren't even top 5 in allowing TDs. Our defense has not been, we were number one prohibitively last year, number one in yards, number one in scoring by a pretty fair margin. But this year we're right now anyway, we're like number 5 in yards and I think number 7 DVOA. So that's what the scoring is going to, pump that down in a negative way. But part of it is probably, none of the teams on that top yards list are 4-0, right? So that helps. We have had some big leads. So you play different defense when you're in the lead. So I'm not like saying the sky is falling about the Niners D, but it is interesting that we're not really close to number 1, in my opinion.
Well, I can tell you what will help the D is if they get in a situation where Dak is throwing 20 plus times a game, 25, 30 times a game. It's well known, at least here when I listen to the radio and the sports talk radio shows, is that, the more he throws, the more susceptible he is to being picked off. You want to keep him to a low number and keep Pollard moving, keep Dowdle moving.
Yeah.
Keep those guys moving the ball instead of just relying on Dak. Although we have great wide receivers, you got Cooks, you got Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, of course. So it's not like I wouldn't want to use them. I'd just rather not rely on them based on who's throwing to them.
For life.
What you got in that cup, Jamal?
So what's in the cup?
A little bit of truth. Got a little bit of truth, liquid truth.
David McNiner has his own channel. He was on with me yesterday. Check him out. He says, "What up, Ted? LFG 49ers. Welcome, David." McNiner, McNuevo, McNew. He says, how many teams average 40 points a game? Yeah, it's pretty.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
For sure. I mean, the Dolphins, the Cowboys were until the Cards game, but they might be getting close again after because it was 38 against the Pats. So I was 40, 30, and 38, and 16. That's the one that drags it down.
Right.
But the Cowboys aren't too far off 30. So it's kind of interesting. As far as like Fortnite, I love. He says you're not by yourself that week here. So I do have backup, at least in the something's going on with my dryer out here. Okay, there we go. It's like the thump.
So is Parsons' foot okay? Is that confirmed? Is Parsons' foot okay?
Knee. He has a knee. CeeDee Lamb has a knee.
That guy's a lion. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just here asking. I'm just asking.
Malik Turner has a knee. One of the other linebacker besides LVE has a knee, but I think they're all going to play. And it looks like Tyron. The big thing is Tyron Smith's going to play, and Tyler Smith.
Yeah,
and Biotish and Zach.
I think
Martin.
Everybody is a go. From what I understand, everybody's a go. So.
You guys have 3 TSs on your line. You have 2 T Smiths and a T Steele. Crazy. But it's the first time that line's ever played together. Like, we don't even know how good that line could be. It could be the best line in football.
We don't know how bad it could be either. So I appreciate the optimism, but let's take a look and see what happens. This is not the game to be thrown into the fire, I believe.
Oh yeah, Bosa is the fire. That's for sure.
Bosa is the fire.
He's leading the league in pass rush win rate, also in double and triple teams. So I'm sure you guys will send some attention his way, so he's not lonely like I am here. Bosa will probably like this 2-on-1. I think
you're not lonely, man. Hey, they said you're not by yourself, Ted. We're here.
There you go.
There's a whole chat full of people.
Grandpa's cough medicine.
For life, Niners got your back.
We'll get the first TD this Sunday. Niners and what player?
Ooh.
I mean, if I was betting, I'd bet on CMC for us for sure.
You know what? I was thinking that, but I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
I'm going with a kicker. I'm going with a kicker.
Yeah.
On either side. I said I'm going with the kicker on either side.
There you go.
I'm going. The first points will be 3 points.
I heard you guys have a good kicker out of Notre Dame who only missed an extra point or something.
What about Dak on a sneak?
There you go.
It's not. Dak doesn't run anymore.
I know, but Dak on a sneak.
Dak hurt his leg and decided he doesn't run anymore. So
there you go. Well, we like our rookie kicker Jake Moody a lot. He hasn't missed a kick yet, so knock on wood. Hopefully that keeps going. He's had some ugly ones, but they went through. So,
you know what? That's a pretty good call. It's going to be a kick. It'll be a kick.
James Journal says CMC. 49 Lifer says Juice. You know what? CMC is too easy. I'll go with Kittle. That's my official answer.
That's not bad. I mean, we're heavy on tight ends, so I could see that coming from like Ferguson or somewhere with us if I had to choose. But honestly, I think it's going to be 3 points. The games aren't very high scoring in general that we've had recently.
Yeah.
I think you threw the number out. What was it? 17, 12 and
40 against the Giants. Oh, but the offense.
The last score. That's true.
Yeah, I'm talking about the last couple games.
Defensive. Yeah.
The last couple times we played each other. I think you said the numbers were.
Randy McDiner, we're countering the Trey Lance effect by picking up Randy Gregory. Well, we also already had cornerback Brown was on our practice squad too.
I don't know that that's an even trade, but I like it.
I mean, a quarterback's definitely going to know more about the offense than a cornerback or a defensive end, right? So, yeah.
I would hope that's not the case. I would hope they were better prepared than just going to get Trey Lance.
No, I mean, I think they got him for a long-term play because Dak, in a couple years, that contract's coming up. And Trey Lance, I guarantee that Jerry didn't use a fourth for him to stay at QB3 for very long. When I say very long, it might be till the offseason, until he can go through OTAs and camp and preseason and learn the whole system really well. It's hard to learn that in season.
We know Jerry wants Trey Lance, though, man. Like, let's be honest. Jerry wants Trey Lance.
I wanted him bad, but Kyle didn't. So what are you going to do? I got to move on. You can never root for him as a Cowboy. That's for damn sure. So.
Well, the talk in town was that we acquired Trey Lance and nobody knew he was coming.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
he just kind of showed up on the door. It was like, hey,
anybody. He just pulled the trigger.
Like the prodigal son. Hey, by the way, I'm here.
I mean, it was like an Amazon package you forgot you paid for, and you're like, oh damn. I remember I bought this. Wow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is.
There you go. McNiner thinks Ayuk will score first. James Dornall says, "What if we get a defensive TD first? That'd be great."
So what are we thinking? What are we thinking that the final score is going to be here, guys?
I've been saying 24-21 Niners.
Okay, it's legit.
28-20. I'm still gonna go with the low scoring game, and I'm gonna say something similar to what was it last year or the year before, where it was like 17, something odd. I'd say 17-10.
Yeah,
you're picking the Cowboys.
Yeah,
just random. Whoever it lands on. No, I'm picking the Cowboys. I gotta pick the Cowboys. 100%.
Coin toss up here.
I gotta pick it.
There you go.
I gotta go with my side.
Steve says, "Isn't he the one who hit girls and did USC?" Randy Gregory. I don't know. I
no,
something like that. I was surprised we signed him because of. But some people were telling me it was more like substance issues than.
Yeah, it was more of a. It was never a social problem. It was just from what I understand and from what I've read and heard, it's just more of a substance issue than a.
I think they're thinking wasn't there a Greg defensive end who was real trouble with the guns and there's Randy Gregory and then there was.
No, he's not that one.
Yeah.
Greg something or other. Yeah, I think that's what people are.
Oh, you talking about from back?
Yeah, not too far back, but like 5 years ago.
10 years ago. And Jerry loved him. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I'm drawing a blank, and apparently there are no Cowboy fans in the chat to help me with this.
There are
not Greg Williams.
Greg. No, it was something else. But
keep it going. I'll look it up.
I'm looking at the chat.
Cowboys defensive end.
Dang.
James Dornall, 40.
He doesn't like the Cowboys, clearly.
Yeah. Wow. That's a little homerish, though. But hey.
40-0.
Brian
irrational.
Rocking the Ronnie Lott inverse all week, 42-24. Randy says 24-21 is accurate. He's with me. I like it.
I got 24.
Greg Hardy.
That
good
was
job,
the
guys.
guy with like
Brad,
with
thank
the
you.
picture on like a pile
Thank you,
of
Greg Hardy.
rifles.
That's it.
And he hit the women, I think. And
yep.
Yeah.
Greg
so
Hardy.
Not Randy Gregory, Greg Hardy. I
Thank you, Steve-O. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are coming in clutch.
Chat saves us again.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I appreciate that. I can't remember everything.
When I was on with the Cowboys creators, they said linebacker was an area that the Niners could exploit, because LVE, sometimes he plays well, but not always. And then the other linebacker has a hurt shoulder. And that's like an area where Kyle usually excels at, even if you have good linebackers, because he'll line up in 21 personnel with Juice and McCaffrey in the backfield and Debo and Ayuk and Kittle, and they're all interchangeable. And so wherever you get the linebacker on guy, you just put him out in the slot. And all of a sudden you got this linebacker out in space going like, I got no help. It's like me here. I got no help.
And probably typically it'll be Van Der Esch. If I see Van Der Esch in coverage, it's a problem. If I see the back of his jersey, it's a problem.
So that's what I would expect Kyle to do, along with running the ball. If we're not running, that's the type of pass, and it'll be a quick pass. It won't be like anything too deep, because the right side of our line is going to be Swiss cheese against your guys' pass rush, I think.
Yeah.
So that's my weak spot. Right guard, right tackle, nickel corner in our base package. Isaiah Oliver, we got him from the Falcons. He's been a liability. I think CeeDee Lamb will eat him alive. And then in nickel package, we get him out because he can't cover, and we move Lenore, who's our boundary cover and base. He's our nickel, and then we bring in Ambry Thomas, but then he's a liability. So like whatever package we're in, there's a corner you can pick on the 49ers. So
I was going to say, I think Lenore's been the most. I think he's been the most attacked, right, on the 49ers.
Pretty good. He's all right. He's all right.
Okay.
He's not great. Wow. He's not as good as Charvarius Ward. In the playoffs last year, he was better than Charvarius Ward, but he's been not as good this season. I will say that. But I don't think he's been. It's really been Isaiah Oliver and Ambry Thomas are the two.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
40-3, huh? Woo! That's a tough one right there.
I'm looking at these numbers coming through, and I'm like,
he added a field goal for you guys. That first field goal.
Come on, man. What's up with that?
Dang. A 40 spot, huh? Okay.
No, you know what I think. I think it's going to be really close.
40 ounces in a 3-piece.
You never know. It could be a blowout either way. I just don't see it. I think these two teams are too evenly matched. So those are some of our weaknesses that I see. And then also I think like Pollard, he's very explosive. I said a lot, like I think if he didn't get injured in last year's game, could have been a different result. If Kittle didn't make that circus catch, could have been a different result.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Didn't make the interception catch, especially if any or all those three things are different, could have been different. So, but with Pollard, I just I wonder, can he hold up to being a feature back, a bell cow, if you will?
We're going to find out.
Defense this year is tough on backs because it's like we're playing off the ball. And we're just letting rushing four. It's kind of like almost like a prevent defense, but then you can get a couple yards, but you're going to get pounded from a bunch of different guys when you do. And so, I never root for injuries or anything like that, but it does make me wonder if he can hold up for the duration of a game with that kind of punishment.
I will say this: I thought that he and Zeke were a good complement. Just in that Zeke was a downhill runner,
right,
and constantly pushing, and he was a nice change of pace. So, with Pollard being the primary runner now, they say he's a small guy. He's not terribly small, but we do know he has issues being durable. I mean, he got injured last year, so I'm not sure that we have a great backup. I mean, Dottle, I mentioned him earlier. He's looked spectacular when he's had opportunities. But yeah, let's see what happens. This is what Jerry wanted.
Yeah,
we didn't go out and get anybody. So
you guys have dropped off a little bit, losing Dalton Schultz to the Texans.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yes. I agree. I cannot argue that. I wanted to, but I couldn't. You took it from me. But yes,
I
he
mean,
was.
like I said, I'm
He
just
was a
honest
tremendous
about
loss.
what I see.
Yeah, he's a tremendous loss.
I don't let things cloud my I try not to let the way I feel cloud my judgment. I think I think Gallup could be big, and I think also so could Brandon Cooks. He's done great things a lot. He hasn't done much this year, but
he's due.
Right,
it can happen at any time, right? I mean, that guy, he's like a walking completion wherever he goes. It seems like.
Yeah, he's due for a good game, a breakout game, and I'm hoping it is this game.
Just next
Ted,
week.
you have a fan here, and this is Catherine.
Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Catherine.
What's that?
How are you?
Good.
Oh.
Can't complain.
Everything's great.
We're just sitting here talking football.
Yeah.
Everything's gravy.
Cool.
Nice to meet you.
Keep doing what you do. Yeah, nice to meet you.
So, what are your keys to this game, Ted?
Right now,
like what has to happen for the 49ers?
I can't even hear it.
Got to run the ball. Got to run play action off the run.
Mm-hmm.
And got to hit some deep passes to keep the defense honest. Keep them from just teeing off on Purdy and stacking the box to stop the run.
Exactly.
So Purdy hit a couple nice ones against the Cards, a 42-yarder to Ayuk and a 34-yarder to Ayuk. But there wasn't much pressure.
Yeah, and that's one of my keys to winning the game is to put pressure on Purdy. And let's see what happens when he's under duress. Most quarterbacks make mistakes, and he's had the luxury, I believe, of not having to rush through his progressions. Maybe here and there, but I mean, I'm hoping that number 11 comes flying through and causes chaos at least, a little bit of turmoil, to throw him off his game. So
when I was talking to Ashley Baker, she was saying, the Niners are pick your poison type of offense, right? It's like, oh, you stop Debo. Oh, CMC gets you. You stop CMC, Ayuk gets you. Oh, got all them covered. Here's Kittle. And so it is. And I always just say, what do you do with a poisonous snake, right? You cut the head off. And so if you get pressure on Purdy, then that could be the way to cut the head off the 49ers offense.
It's kind of like a shock and overwhelm type of situation.
Yep. Yeah. And good coverage helps too. I mean, we haven't faced a pair of corners like Gilmore and Bland yet this season. So the Steelers corners are no good. The Rams corner, they got Akello Witherspoon, who we let him go. The Seahawks had him, they let him go. The Steelers had him, they let him go. And now he's a Ram. And I forget who their other corner is, but it's nobody special. And the Cards, I think they have a good rookie, but again, it's just it's a wasteland of talent on the Cards defense.
Yeah, I just think, overwhelm Purdy, keep the game manageable. Don't let them get too far ahead, or make sure you get far enough ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it'll come down to special teams, honestly.
There you go.
That's why I chose the 3 points. I just kind of think that's the way it's going to go.
There you go. Yeah. Dave McNair says, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, play action pass. Purdy has been sacked 7 times in 4 games. Prescott sacked 6. Yeah. And 2 of those came in the Cards game when he was missing 4 of his offensive linemen. So just 4 in the rest of the game in the other 3 games. So I don't think there'll be a ton of sacks for us. For you guys, I think there might be more.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully the line comes together like Voltron. Yeah.
I have a feeling it will. I think it's better than
the reference there.
What's the guy's name? Udoka?
There you go again.
Here we go.
Chuma Udoka instead of Terrence Smith. I don't know. Some people are saying that Terrence Smith is kind of washed. I don't know. I didn't think so. But maybe I'm going.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so
either. I think he's still one of the better left tackles out there when he's healthy, but that is fewer and farther between.
Yeah, it is, and you don't know when he's going to go out.
If you're not a Niner,
like a car with a bad alternator.
He said he was calling you guys on another stream the dull ass Cowboys. I hadn't heard that one before. I was like,
oh man,
usually
I'm sorry.
Weiner fans say Cowgirls. So
wow. See, I appreciate when people are creative with Dallas.
Yeah, that's
it's really hard to be creative with the word
we
Dallas.
haven't heard that one before. The dull ass Cowboys.
Dull ass Cowboys. Let me write that one down.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game Sunday, but it's going to be a war. It is. I don't know that Kyle's going to show everything because there is a chance. I'll tell you, I picked us and y'all in the NFC Championship before the season started.
Well, thank you, Ted.
In the Eagles, because of all the people that have left and everything. They got a good-looking draft class. I get it. And Jalen Carter looks like he's really coming along quickly. But, draft picks bust 50% of the time, and the ones that don't bust a lot of times aren't great as rookies. Now, Jalen Carter looks like he's breaking the mold there. But they got a bunch of other guys they were kind of counting on in the draft, and I don't know that they've come along because, like someone was saying, the Eagles aren't on that top 10 best defensive yardage list or the top 10 or top 5 best scoring,
Yeah, but they're still scary.
No, they are.
They still have the ability.
The one thing I will say though is how great is their offensive line if Lane Johnson has to false start every other play. How tired did you get of hearing you got the mind of a center during the our game in the NFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl? He false started at will. And Greg Olsen was just making excuses for him as the day was long. I was so mad at him. And Lane Johnson for doing it and Greg Olsen for, covering up for him. Just terrible. But they got a great line. They got, A.J. Brown. They got Devonta Smith. They got Goddard, who's probably the second best blocking and receiving tight end after Kittle. And now they got DeAndre Swift, who's second after CMC in rushing yards. I thought they would miss Miles Sanders, but it looks like Swift is an upgrade. So
man, you just went right by Kelsey, huh? Just
Kelsey doesn't block.
Man, you need to slow down for that, bro.
He's right the best receiving tight end. Although I do say, I think Kittle is better than Kelsey even at receiving. It's just you haven't seen Kittle with Mahomes. If Kittle was on the Chiefs, he would be slaying it. But keep in mind, you got the best QB in the NFL in Mahomes, and they throw it more than any other team. Whereas Kittle's got Hoyer, C.J. Beathard, Mullins, Jimmy G, a little bit of Trey Lance, and a little bit of Purdy. But not a great offensive line, and we run the heck out of the ball. We run, as much as we pass, and so those things matter. The context matters. I think if you put Kittle on the Chiefs, he does everything Kelsey does, plus yak and block. But
right.
That's just me. That's just me. A lot of people don't like context, it turns out. It's just I like it. Don't lie. That's a lie, Ted. And I'm like, well, actually they do. That's why they say there's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics. Because you need the context to explain what it meant and what it means in the future.
Yeah. Numbers tell the truth.
I think analyzing this stuff is so important. The guy's first game back is usually sketchy. That's true, but is it his first game back? Did he play earlier in the season, or is this his first game back of 2023 for Terrence Smith? I don't know. I don't know when he went out. So that's. I guess we could look and see games played this season. Someone else look that up. That'd be interesting. It's going to be a good game. No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows. That's right.
I was just out in San Francisco not too long ago. I should have came this week.
Except for
I didn't plan it correctly.
Well, except for one, the tickets are crazy expensive.
I just need to be in the area. That's all. I just need to be
there you go.
Around people enough to be a nuisance.
This is another reason why. How many fights you think there will be? Levi's has had some fights lately.
What?
In the stands? Yeah, because the wine and cheese crowd that people knew from the stick. It's a little tougher and rougher down in the 408.
Okay.
So
it's interesting. It's interesting that these guys, revved up a little bit more, right? I mean, it wasn't like that.
No, I mean it's and even some of them are started by girls too. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do?
It's equal opportunity.
I think you know what? Warmer
Everybody
weather.
can catch an ass whooping.
Brian thinks it's going to be a great game. I do too. I think it's going to be one for the ages. Absolutely. As close to a playoff game as you can get in the regular season. Randy says, I think Bryant is being polite. Well, Bryant did say 42-24, so that's not a great game. So maybe he meant a great game for the Niners. Kelsey is a wide receiver. Kelsey can block. He just doesn't much, And that's part of the reason why he's able to stay healthy more. It's blocking is tough on your body. It's a lot more wear and tear to do what Kittle does. And doesn't show up in the stat sheet. You don't get the glory. There's no fantasy value.
CMC throws a touchdown. That was most likely to happen.
My favorite player. Onzo knows
I vote for that. Where's the thumbs up for that one? I like that one. That's most likely to happen.
I like that.
CMC throws a touchdown. He did against the Rams, so it's funny. We have a lot of players who could throw touchdowns. There's CMC. Juice has been a backup quarterback. Jennings was a Wildcat quarterback at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Debo's thrown a touchdown. Who else? I feel like almost everybody of our weapons, other than Brandon Ayuk, either has thrown a ball or could, or maybe not as an NFL player, but at some point in their football career has. It's
I always feel like if you have a running back throwing for a touchdown, that the game is way too close, or there's a spark that needs to happen to get the team going.
Right.
So if I see him throwing the ball, I might feel better about that because the game is closer than we probably anticipate.
Well, I mean, Kyle has been setting it up lately because like against the Rams, Purdy technically didn't have any TD throws because he threw it to Debo backwards, and Debo could have then thrown the ball again himself, but he ran it in, so it was counted as a running TD. And then even against the Cards, same thing with CMC, that hurdle, that's going all around, just like Ayuk's hurdle against
that was
the
beautiful.
Years back. That was behind. That was a backwards pass that CMC could have thrown. So Kyle's at the table for it for sure. I don't know if it'll happen against the Cowboys, but he's definitely setting it up to where he does this all the time until the time he doesn't, and the guy actually throws it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of like, I think it is, what is it, a quarter of the way through the season or something like that?
Yeah. Is
this who are these teams that are playing? Is this who the 49ers are? Is this who Dallas is?
I think we're going to make a move. I think we're going to get a right tackle or a corner or a DN. Randy Gregory is a DN, but he's not the DN. He's not the one that we've been waiting for. He's not the bookend for Bosa. He's just some depth. He's just like Clelin Ferrell, in my opinion. He's a guy. He's depth. But
he's got good hips. He can bend at the waist and turn the corner.
There you go. That's good.
The scouting report on him. He's long, but long. So, that's the big thing for him.
About your brother, 4-lifer. Prayers up. There you go. I hope so too for your brother. Absolutely. Yeah. Twin Empire in the house. His brother is Law Nation. You guys might know Law Nation. He's a pretty big content creator. They were on this morning with Ryan Hensley, who's a big Niners content creator, and they were John. I mean, man, how brothers fight, man. There was like no holds barred, and Ryan like had other shows to do, and he's like trying to get these two to. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out Ryan G. Hensley's show from this morning.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, it was great because Twin's great, Law Nation's great, and Ryan's awesome. Just a great group. Ryan was the one who was on with Larry Krueger early in the offseason and said that Purdy was dink and dunk. So that's where dink and dunk gate came from. If you guys are
really?
I never said dink and dunk. I just said he has limited arm, limited height, limited top speed. And that's why I think it'll be difficult for Purdy to ever be elite or a true franchise quarterback. But he seems to be on his way, and it is possible. I always said it was possible, just very difficult. So I hope, like I said, I hope he proves me wrong. I'd rather be happy than right because it'll make me happy to have a really good quarterback for sure. So we'll see what happens. George Kittle is one of the best. Titan. Okay. All right. And then it's just saying what up to twin. There we go. So we got a little bit of time left before I have to bounce, about 10 minutes or so.
Sure.
But we don't have to drag it on either. Was there more stuff that we want to go over?
No, keep it going, man.
No, I'm enjoying the comments. Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's still more stuff we could talk about, just as far as other areas. So I was saying, like, Pollard might be an area to attack, tight ends on the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. As far as the corners, though, I guess who's playing nickel corner? Do you guys know now that because Deron Bland was nickel when Diggs was in, and then let me see if I got it on the. I don't think they usually show that on the depth chart though for defense. Nickelback, Jordan Lewis or Lewis Jordan. Yeah, Jordan Lewis.
Deron
Bland, Malik Hooker,
he's serviceable.
Damone Clark is the one with the shoulder who plays next to Vander Esch. Micah has a knee. Odigizua, Hankins, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Watch, Micah. They're fooling you with Micah. His knee hurts.
How so?
Well, they're saying he has a knee. Well, yes, but I don't think it's as terrible as we're thinking. I just think it's a setup. When I say a setup, it's just to get people thinking about him.
Right.
Maybe to kind of throw the offenses off. I don't know. That's just me. I'm basically not thinking about that. But
okie doke.
I'm an average fan. Slightly disillusioned, but
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, bring me back to reality here.
I love it.
He's hitting me with the numbers.
Let's go through some other stuff that I've been seeing in the news here. In the wrong.
So,
thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna bring up stuff from my timeline that, like, things I've been commenting on.
So, just based on the other individuals you've spoken to, as far as Cowboy fans, is everybody kind of saying the same thing? Do you see a pattern in what everybody's saying, or is everybody all over the place?
No, it's pretty consistent that you guys need to stop the run and get pressure on Purdy, and then don't put Dak in a position where he's going to Dak.
So I like that. So my whole thought on this whole situation is that, yes, it's Dallas and 49ers. I'm glad it's happening early in the season. If this is an L for Dallas, I don't think it's going to be as big of an L because we're 3 and what? We have stacked enough wins. I think this is one of those situations where if I look back and say I didn't make it because of the 49ers, it makes sense. Not because of the Cardinals.
No, there you go. No, that makes sense. I'm with you.
Right.
I've been saying that, it wouldn't be the worst thing for the 49ers to lose, because as long as we keep cruising, we might not address these problems that I've mentioned.
Keep winning.
Tackle, nickel corner, and boundary corner. And so, like, a loss here might wake people up and be like, oh, we really do need a real defensive end, not Randy Gregory.
I don't
need to go get Pat Surtain the second. We really do need to, get a real right tackle. I'm thoroughly convinced that our 2024 first round draft pick will be used on a right tackle, whether it's in that draft or before the trade deadline, with some team that would be willing to part with a right tackle who, when they're mathematically out of it or pretty sure they won't make the playoffs, that type of thing.
Yeah, I'm never a proponent of losing to wake somebody up. I want to win constantly.
I never want to lose. That could be my silver lining of losing. Because I'm ready to go all in. I'm ready to pull Rams. We're a lot like the Rams right now. We're very top heavy. We were paying a few guys a lot of money, and we have a lot of guys. Like, I mean, a great example is Jimmy Ward. You guys lost Dalton Schultz to the Texans. We lost Jimmy Ward to the Texans for money. And I said, like, hey, Isaiah Oliver, he's like half as cheap or even cheaper than half as cheap. And so he doesn't have to be as good to be a better value, but he's not a better value. At least not yet. Maybe he'll improve during the season, but that's sort of like would be my silver lining to if we did lose, would be like hopefully then it spurs us to go all in, shove the chips in, and get like our Von Miller who the Rams got, or they got OBJ, or they got Sony Michel wasn't a really big move, but it kept them alive when their other running backs were out that season. So it all added up to a Super Bowl win for them. And I'm ready for one of those, even if it means setting us back a few years. Like I've been a big fan of like slow and steady, get to the NFC Championship. You got to get there to win it and all that. But now I'm just like, forget. I'm ready to have a setback to
that is not Jerry's really philosophy.
What's that?
I said that is not Jerry's philosophy.
They're not going to be around. Trent Williams could retire at any time. Debo's really expensive. Fred's really expensive. Now Bosa is crazy expensive. It's just going to get harder and harder to keep this team together, and that's just without getting injured or other things happening. So
correct.
We've got what seems to be a core that could win a Super Bowl. Like let's make sure we do everything we can this season. That was the thing. Like they said, we're too good to develop Trey Lance. Well, then you better damn well be good enough to win it all. That's the way I feel.
Too good to develop. Wow, yeah. I didn't realize that was what was being said.
Win now. We're too good now.
And we have too much money to be rich.
I think Jerry Jones might be interested in helping you guys win.
Oh wow!
Not a chance.
No, that took exactly 50 minutes to come out of you.
Where you said he thought we would win the Super Bowl. That was just reverse bulletin board. He was just trying to get you guys fired up by basically slandering your team, by basically saying I think the Niners have the best chance to win the Super Bowl of any team. That was just reverse.
I agree with that.
That's all he was doing. That was pretty transparent in my
opinion.
Right. But a good idea. I mean, and Micah's doing the same thing. Yeah. Micah, he's got his podcast and he's like talking us up. It's like, dude, you're not fooling anyone. We know you don't believe a word you're saying. So.
He believes it.
No.
I'm trying not to hype the fans up from here.
There you go. Good man. Well,
try to keep it peaceful.
Coming up on 5 o'clock here. So let me just read this last comment by Rick. It says, this question goes to the Cowboys fans. They're well, I'd respect you guys. And can you answer a question, please? I want to hear what you guys think. You guys can sweep the Eagles and sweep the Giants.
Giants, yes. Eagles.
Very good question. The Eagles is going to be a tough one, but the Giants, the way that they're playing and the way they're behaving, they're spilled milk, man. They're spilled milk. So we might have that one.
Unless Saquon comes back, that's their only hope. I mean,
yeah.
I just think as far as the Eagles are concerned, it's a division. I mean, it's a rivalry, and those games tend to be more than competitive. There's injuries that usually come along with that from extra activities. Mm-hmm. So I just think it can go both ways. I just don't think a sweep is possible, but I think it can happen. I just don't think it's possible.
I love my Cowboys, but sometimes we smell our own farts. You know what I mean? So that's an interesting question. So I'm a believer on that. So I'm going to say yes to all of it. But I'm a realist at the same time. So yes, we can sweep. Will we? That's going to be the interesting question. That's the real question. Will we?
I'm not going to let you trick me into the answer to this one.
I think the Eagles
this is going on to the internet forever.
Their offense just doesn't look like it's in sync to me, like the way it did last year. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think you guys can do it.
I think we can.
Whether you sweep them or not, I think it's going to be us and you in the NFC Championship game. So
now, if you would have asked if we were going to
sweep, the winner wins the Super Bowl. Like
say usual. That again.
And the winner wins the Super Bowl just like usual, because it's happened 5 times where we played an NFC Championship and that team has won. For you guys, it was 71, 92, 93. For us, it was 94 and 81. Obviously, the first one. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what's happening this year. I think it's a repeat of destiny. one of these two teams will get ring number 6 this year. I don't think the Bills.
Look at that.
Either team. I think the Bills are going to end up 0-5 in Super Bowls.
Oh, that's heavy.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to do it. I kind of like the Bills. I definitely like Josh Allen, but sorry, Josh. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'm looking forward to this game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to maybe catching up with you afterwards to hear what your thoughts are, just how you break it down, and maybe talk about, what went wrong.
If you guys want to commit before the game, then I will commit before the game and doing the show after the game. But if you guys wait and come to me after, like, do the show, like, I don't know. I don't feel so good. I don't know.
No,
that's what I told the Cowboys creators. I have one that because he just said same time next week. We're done, Greg, from Monday. But I asked Ashley and Cole, and so far they haven't committed. Again, and I probably will anyway, even if we lose, just because it's good theater. And
yeah,
like I said,
it's great theater.
Y'all in the playoffs. Like, I think you just can't get too much Cowboys Niners. Like I said, it's the best playoff rivalry in football, and it might be just the best rivalry in football, period. And football's the king of sports in America. So
that's true.
This is it. It's America's team, the team that thinks it's America's team versus the team that really is America.
Let's just dispel that. We're not America's team. There's more teams now than when they
have the most fans. We travel the best though. Like when we take over stadiums, like SoFi, Levi's South, and then like if you saw Pittsburgh, how many people were there, and what was the other one on the road? I guess.
Well, there's not a lot of Pittsburgh fans in Pittsburgh right now, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that offense is anemic, man. That's just Kenny Pickett, first round. Brock Purdy, all those quarterbacks are struggling. Sam Howell, Kenny Pickett. Who's the other one?
What year did these guys go overseas?
We haven't gone yet. The 49ers yet.
Okay.
The Cowboys haven't. I know the Cowboys haven't.
Let's see what happens when these guys travel overseas. That's going to be interesting.
It's hard for the Niners because we already have we're second most. The NFC West travels the most. It's like Seahawks travel the most this year. Niners second most. Rams are third or fourth, and Cardinals are a little bit less because they cheat in a little bit. They're in Arizona, but it's a lot of travel for the NFC West just naturally.
Right.
Based on
location. But I do have to bounce here because Daddy Duty starts in about a minute. But Jamal, great to get to know you here a little bit.
I appreciate the opportunity
to catch up. And if you guys want to do this, it doesn't have to just be Cowboys Niners. We can talk, other teams too. It's fine. I love having good people on the show. You guys are great. It's a lot of fun. And let's do it again. But I'll just say for now, I'll just say peace and go Niners. You want to give us a go Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Onzo giving us Brian X.
It's gonna be 42-3 Cowboys win. The other way, I'm flipping my pick.
28-24, Dallas wins.
There you go. I got 24-21. Here we go, guys.
All right, peace out.
Peace.